Okay, we need to have a serious talk about your 20s. But really, we need to talk about time. Because if you don't get a handle on it right now, you risk waking up one day as just a passenger in your own life. So let's get into it. Let's design your decade.
Here's the number that kind of frames everything. You get about 30,000 days to live. That's it. That's the whole supply.
Now, if you're 25 years old, you've already used up 9,000 of them. Just let that sink in for a second. They're gone, and you are never, ever getting them back.
So many of us go through our 20s acting like we have this infinite supply of time, right? We tell ourselves, oh, I'll start that business someday, or I'll travel there someday. But someday is such a dangerous word. It's like a drug that just lulls you to sleep, making you forget that the clock is literally always ticking. And while we're all putting things off for someday, there's this intense pressure cooker of expectations. Society hands us this pre-written checklist for life. But if you actually look around, really look, you'll see everyone is quietly freaking out about their choices, even while they're nodding along like they've got it all figured out.
So here's the most important thing to get. Your 20s are not about following some perfect script. They are your own personal identity lab. This is pretty much the only decade where you have this unique kind of freedom to just experiment with who you could become. So if your life feels a little chaotic right now, you're not failing. That chaos, that is the plan.
You know, the biggest mistake people make is asking themselves this question. It's just way too big, it feels way too final, and honestly, it's completely paralyzing. It stops you dead in your tracks because the stakes feel impossibly high.
So let's just reframe the whole thing. Forget that massive, scary question. Instead, ask this tiny one. This question you can actually do something about. It's not about finding the one final answer. It's about gathering data. Every little experiment you run tells you something valuable about yourself. And you can start this, right now. Just pick one thing you've been curious about but have ignored. Maybe it's a ceramics class, a solo weekend trip, learning a few lines of code, and just book it tonight. The goal isn't to discover your life's passion by morning. It's just to collect one new piece of data. Now, these experiments aren't just about what you do, they're also about who you're with. So let's talk about the people you surround yourself with, because in your 20s, the whole game of friendship completely changes. See, when you're a teenager, your friendships are mostly based on proximity. You're in the same school, on the same team, live on the same street. It's easy. But as an adult, that all changes. You have to be intentional. You have to actively choose to build and maintain your connections.
And here's a tough truth. Not all relationships deserve your time and energy equally. It's simple, really. Some people energize you, and others, well, they just drain you. You have to get good at identifying these energy vampires and start being ruthless about curating your circle. Your energy is one of your most precious resources.
Want a simple, tactical way to build those great, intentional connections? Try this. When you're with people you want to connect with, just aim to listen more than you speak. It's amazing what happens. When you let people talk about themselves, their brain literally releases reward chemicals. You become memorable, even magnetic, just by shutting up.
This idea of intentional investment doesn't just apply to people. It's also the ultimate cheat code for your finances. I know your bank account might feel kind of small right now, but because of something called the time unit paradox, the financial decisions you make today are more powerful than they will ever be again.
Just look at this chart. This is the insane power of time. If you invest just $200 a month starting at 25, you could easily end up with around 650 grand by retirement. But what if you wait just 10 years? You start at 35, same amount? That number plummets to under $300,000. That 10-year delay costs you more than $350,000. It's wild.
So just make it ridiculously easy on yourself. Set up an automatic transfer tonight. Seriously, even if it's just $50. Then you make it non-negotiable, just like brushing your teeth. The exact amount is way less important than just building the habit.
Okay, so what about your career? First thing, forget the idea of a career ladder. That is such an outdated concept from your parents' generation. Modern careers look way more like jungle gyms. You move sideways, you move diagonally. Heck, sometimes you even move backwards to get where you ultimately want to go.
In your 20s, you absolutely have to optimize for learning, not just for status or money. Your whole goal is to build what's called a career moat. A moat is this unique combination of skills and reputation that makes you incredibly hard to replace. Think of every new skill you learn as another lottery ticket for your future self.
Right, let's talk about the actual vehicle that's carrying you through all of this. Your body.
In your 20s, your body is basically running on its factory settings. You feel invincible. Spoiler alert, you are not. Right now, you are establishing the health baseline that your body will keep returning to for the next 40 years.
And let's be crystal clear about something. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a non-negotiable biological necessity. Running on too little sleep impairs your judgment as much as being drunk. It's true. Your brain has this amazing night shift cleaning crew that literally flushes out toxins while you sleep. You have to let them do their job.
And you don't have to force yourself to do these hour-long workouts you hate. Just try something called movement snacking. 5 minutes of stretching between meetings, 10 push-ups while your coffee brews. It's a quick energy booster, not a chore. It just keeps your body online throughout the day.
Okay, this brings us to the single most powerful principle that ties everything we've talked about together. Success isn't about some huge, dramatic leap, it's just math. It's the slow, steady, and inevitable compounding of tiny wins.
So what does this number mean? It means if you get just 1% better at something every single day, by this time next year, you will be 37 times better. It's an exponential curve that feels painfully slow at first, and then all of a sudden, it's explosive.
And just think about what this looks like day to day. These small choices feel like nothing in the moment, right? Reading just 10 pages a day seems pointless, but that adds up to a dozen books a year. Saving $5 here and there feels insignificant, but that becomes almost $2,000 over a year. These small, consistent actions are your real secret weapon.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Your 20s are not about winning the game or having it all figured out. They're about building the foundation. The crucial mind shift is this: you are not on some grand quest to find some pre-made version of yourself. You are the architect. Go build. Someday is today.
Please subscribe to Smart Laziness.